Hello, my YouTube audience. So today we're going to talk about foreboding joy. So it's something that comes up in Brené Brown's work in Daring Greatly, and we cover it in the stuck phase of the strive sobriety system. And what is happening here, I've seen it in an assignment recently, is a striver, it was Kim, doing her homework assignment. She said, sometimes foreboding joy happens when I start to think about the benefits of being someone who doesn't drink alcohol, because suddenly I start worrying that if I'm going to think about alcohol and how it used to be really bad and how now I feel really great, I'm actually going to be triggered, right? So I asked the question to Strive community, is there, what's going on here when it comes to foreboding the joy of drinking? Should we stop that? Should we stop thinking about the positive aspects of being someone who doesn't drink alcohol because we're going to be triggered to drink? And we've had a few people come back and post, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit. So Kim, first of all, posted again, and Kim said she used to relish, in the early doors of her journey, she used to relish the positives of not drinking. She really used to like talking about it, explaining it, and all that kind of stuff. But now she's reached 80 odd days alcohol free, and those memories of being a drinker are 83 or 86 days in the past. She is reluctant to go back there and think about it because she's worried that it's going to be a trigger to drink. So she's just, at the moment, she's not visualizing on the joy of drinking, because she doesn't want to go there because it means going back to what it was like when she used to drink. So she's doing her own thing. She's got her head down. She doesn't think there's any value of alcohol, and she's just going on with it, right? So that's what Kim is saying. She's concerned about triggering a trigger moment happening by thinking about the joy of being sober. So she's foreboding that joy. Okay. Tony says that we should focus on the positives of not drinking, and we should focus on the negatives of drinking. And he says that when you're on Strive, you have to think about it, because that is what Strive's all about. That's what 1000 Days Sober is all about. There's a clue in the title. But he does have a caveat and says, but if you are triggered by certain thoughts, then maybe you should avoid thinking about this glorious, wonderful life that we're going to have as someone who doesn't drink alcohol. Michael, on the other hand, Michael says, avoid nothing. He says, you are clear-headed and present, so you can handle anything. And he said, I like to think about my enemy. I like to know everything about my enemy, so I know I can handle it in his presence. So he's saying, I need to immerse myself with alcohol, know everything there is about alcoholism is an invisible, violent, and dominant belief system, and then I won't fall into its trap again, right? So Michael, completely different kind of viewpoint there, okay? What do I think? Well, I think it's important that 1000 Days Sober, that we reach a state where nothing triggers us, because we can't avoid alcohol. I don't want 1000 Days Sober to be Alcoholics Anonymous, where people believe they're one drink away from complete and utter ruin. Okay, I don't want that. I want us to be able to walk into a bar if we want to and never be triggered to have a drink. So if that's the case, we have to visualize with great clarity and emotion what a life looks like without alcohol, and we have to apply intense pain onto a life with alcohol. So we do have to think about these things. We cannot avoid them. It is really important that we think about these things. If we are triggered doing this work on the Strive sobriety system, then we need to interrogate that trigger. What is it that is triggering us? What is the scenario here that is causing us a problem? And then we need to work with a Strive coach on that issue to get to the root cause of why this is a problem. Is the root cause that I still find there's some value in alcohol? Is the root cause related to some other aspect of fear that's in my personality, in my psyche, or in my past? Working with a Strive coach will really help you, because what we're actually doing here is we're using a form of armor when we're foreboding joy, okay? And we are rehearsing tragedy. We're thinking to ourselves, oh no, if I go back thinking about drinking, then I'm going to drink. All right. Now, what we need to do is we need to have faith. We need to have faith in ourselves, and we need to have faith in the system and in people like myself. And by now, Kim, if you've gone 80 odd days, I'm just picking on Kim because she posted this, but there'll be other people who relate. You would have developed enough resilience and enough hope, enough stores of resilience and hope To put faith in this and just start thinking and writing about it and know that there is no value in alcohol, that you are a striver, you are somebody who doesn't drink alcohol, and that you can move forward and understand how important it is to visualize this life. And do not be afraid of alcohol, because you are giving up nothing. You are gaining everything. Okay, so really, really important that you need to have that faith, because we really do need to understand why we drank alcohol, and we really need to visualize a life without alcohol. Finally, gratitude. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. Keep pumping up the gratitude about how grateful you are right now that you are someone that doesn't drink alcohol, about your life right now. Keep pumping out the gratitude. And again, that gratitude practice will make it less likely that you will slip into some trigger when you start to feel the joy of being someone that doesn't drink alcohol. You've earned it. If you've done 80 odd days, if you've done 30 odd days, if you've done one day, you've earned to celebrate. You've earned to be joyful about your new position. Please, please, please don't shy away from that. But at the same time, if you're feeling triggered, we really have to do the work and interrogate and understand why there is an issue. Thanks for listening.